We just had a power outage here just a little while ago, and as you can see, there's not a single light on because there's no power unless you're driving a car. But me, I have a backup plan, and here it is. Little tiny inverter, not that much power, connected to the battery of my truck. And because of the HHO experiments, I already have a couple of wires, so hooray for me for playing with HHO. Now we have the extension cord plugged into the inverter, and then that extension cord has a double male. This is a double male extension cord, meaning both ends of the extension cord are male. That way I can plug one end into the inverter, plug another end into a female end. This is the female end, this is the male end. This cord here has two male ends, and it's plugged into this female end, and this cord runs into the outside outlet of my house, and then I just turn off the main breaker in my house, and I just turn on one specific breaker, or excuse me, I turn on two breakers. And as you see, I have some power. I have quite a bit of power. I can turn on a few lights. I have LED lights in certain locations because they use less power. We have a light, and we have a fan on so we can sleep through the night, because it is the hottest night. Now what you got to do, you have to turn off everything except two breakers. This one is the breaker for the outside outlet that you just saw, and we have on just one outlet that turns on a few lights and a couple of plugs. That's it. Everything else is shut off, or else it would overload the little breaker. If I want to watch TV, I can do that, but then I have to turn everything else off. I also got to go start the car up every once in a while. So now everybody here in this area has no power but me. Okay, now that the power's back on and it's daytime, let's go over this again, and you can see everything really good in the light. Here we have a small power inverter. It's good for 350 watts continuous power, 600 watts peak, and there's nothing special about it. I would like to have a larger inverter, but I just got this really cheap on eBay. It does a good job. When the power is out, you simply, now this is a crude hookup because it's like in the middle of the night, you just have a you just have a ground wire here, your positive here, and this seems to have a remote. I've never played with it, so don't worry about it. And in the front, you simply have 2 outlets, on, off. Now to get power to the house, I have a special extension cord. This extension cord, it used to have a male and a female end, but this is the only thing that this extension cord is for, and I cut off the female end and added another male end. Why would I do this? Well, this lets me plug one end. This lets me plug one end into the inverter, and then the other end I can plug into an extension cord. Hold on a second. There, I can plug that into an extension cord, and then that end is plugged directly into an outlet, which is on my house. Or if you don't have an outlet on the outside of your house, you can just take it into the door, run it through the window, and plug it into an outlet inside your house, any wall that you want energized. But when you're doing this, you need to shut off all your breakers, every single one, including the main power. You then turn on the outlet that you have it plugged into, and it won't energize every single thing in your house. It won't energize every single thing in your board, but you will be able to get 1 or 2 items. Now, I was able to turn this one on and then turn another breaker on, and that gives me light and a couple outlets in the back of my house. And the front of the house, the living room is actually still dark, but that's good enough. If I want to watch TV, I'll run an extension cord into the living room and plug in the TV. And then I also have compact fluorescent lights, and I will swap those out. Where did the bulb go? And I will swap those out for LED bulbs and turn off all extra power. Do not, and I mean do not, attempt this unless you have the main power off, and it needs to stay off. Even if the power comes back on, the only way you'll know that the power comes back on is if you look out the window and everybody else's houses are lit up. But keep the main power off until you disconnect your unit. Then you can switch the power back on. You will fry the hell out of your inverter if you don't when the power comes back on. You will also be trying, if you do not shut the main breaker off, you will be trying to supply power to the rest of your neighborhood, and a little 350 watt inverter is just not going to handle it, because they are not going to know to turn off all their extra stuff. And it does drain the battery pretty good, so like every once in a while you need to come out, depending on how much energy you're trying to use, you need to come out every once in a while, start your vehicle, and give it a good charge. And then, you know, this is just an example, so this is a quick charge. Run it for at least 5-10 minutes and then turn it off again. And then, you know, come back out periodically and start your vehicle again. It's also a good idea to have a second vehicle handy with a set of jumper cables, just in case you need to give your vehicle a jump start.